Hi, guys. Welcome to Para Women Radio. I'm Amy. So, there's been some information coming out about the possible reason or reasons that the Watt/Miller house is being sold. Apparently, the Miller father got arrested, and there's some talk about unpaid property taxes and it being cursed and haunted. Could this be history repeating itself all over again? Let's dig deeper into this mystery. Also, Shanann Watts' brother, Frankie Rzucek, is back on YouTube sharing all the conspiracy theories he's discovered about his sister's case as he's been traveling around the World Wide Web. Judy. We're coming to you today on X and YouTube. I want to throw a special shout out to my replay crew. Hi, guys. I hope you're doing well, my friends. I'm going to roll some credits while we let some people filter in, and I will see you on the back end.
About me one more time before you go. Someday you'll know.
I've been wandering down the same road back into town, talking on the phone with you. Who knows what we should do? 'Cause I'm tortured. 'Cause when we try to do things right, it always ends up with a fight. It's really messing with my head. Too bad, my friend, she said. But I'm tortured. Drop dead for me. Won't you just drop dead? Drop dead for me. I think I like that instead. Well, I don't mean anything wrong. Let's have a little conversation alone. Leaving all the stuff behind, but I don't think we should try. Yes, I'm tortured. Drop dead for me. Won't you just drop dead? Drop dead for me. I think I like that instead. Yeah. I've been wandering down the same road back into town, talking on the phone with you. Who knows what we should do? 'Cause when we try to do things right, it always ends up with a fight.
Hi, guys. How is everyone doing today? So, did you have a good weekend? I forget sometime what day of the week it is. But it is Sunday. I know that. Hi, Scout. How are you doing? Greetings back to you. Yay, you made it. Oh, you're part of my replay crew? Well, I love my replay crew too. So, and hi, guys. I hope you guys are all doing well. So, there's been some stuff going on with the house. More stuff, I should say. And it's like shocking stuff. Just shocking. So, I thought what we would do. Oh, good. All is good with you. Good. I love that name, by the way. Scout. Inquirer. Hi, Miss Sherry K. I'm so excited about our members live on Monday. You guys, we have our first members live this Monday at 7, and we're going to talk about the house. But after I tell you what is going down with the house tonight, you're going to want to talk about it again, or at least I think I will. And if we want to talk about something else, we can. But I'm really excited about that. And I had been doing some thinking, and I think I want to call the Parawomen Radio members the dragonflies, because I have been seeing dragonflies all over the place. And it reminds me of you guys. And I've been doing like some reading about dragonflies, and they're so amazing. They've been around forever. Did you know that dragonflies used to be like 77 centimeters, which I looked that up, and what is that, like 30 inches? And so 30 inches is like almost a yardstick, right? So can you imagine having a dragonfly as big as a yardstick flying at you? I just love it. I love it. And then they spend half their life in the water, and then on top of the water, and then in the air. And I thought, my God, that just, we've been through it. We go through it, don't we, us dragonflies? We've seen it and done it. And so I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to call you guys my dragonflies, because I feel like I'm supported by dragonflies, and I feel like you guys support me, and I've been seeing dragonflies, and it's just, I'm going to call you my dragonflies, unless you say, hey, Amy, we don't like that, but I like it. And so I consider you guys, my members are my dragonflies. All right, so let me get my stage ready for tonight. Let's start out talking about the house, but I want to start talking about the point just before the house sold and went to the Millers. So let me get my screen together. Oh, okay. My bird did that whole little, he was quiet the whole time I'm working up the show, and then just as it gets going, he tells me to stop it. That kills my vibe, I'm going to be honest. Christopher Watts tragedy house auction likely to be delayed again. So it had been gone up for sale and auction, and time again it was delayed. It was unfortunate. There wasn't reasons why exactly it was being postponed, but it just really, it was in this limbo between the Rzuceks, and they owned it, but money, I don't know. It was a money situation. I'd have to sit here for a second and think about the whole thing. But then it sold. It sold. But then there were murmurs that the owners, they weren't happy, and they weren't happy about the comparisons between them and the Watts. Like here on Reddit, Watts house sold, new owner not happy about comparisons to the Watts, and Facebook rant. Apparently the new owners of the Watts house are getting inundated with comments and rumors accusing them of being obsessed with the case, mimicking SW's pictures, clothing, buying the house to turn it into some kind of morbid attraction, etc., and responded to all of them in a lengthy Facebook post. True crime vloggers shared it. I shared it. We're going to look at it in just a second. So they didn't like it, and they didn't like that they were being compared. Hold on a second. Let me find where I have it. They didn't like being compared to the Watts, but here we are sitting here, And it's being compared even more because the father, what he did to the child and to the mother, and it now they're unpaid property taxes and just it being in limbo and all this stuff is coming out. And it's like, didn't this happen? Like, the only thing that's not happened is that I guess it's up for sale again. Like, they got out, the Millers got out. I don't know. um Hold on. Let me find it. Where is it? Um, okay, I can't find it right now. But there was a post that the Millers did, and they were very unhappy with the comparison. The realtor had done a post, and it was a photo of them in the Watts kitchen, just like that one, like, I don't know, for many photos of the Watts, right? They liked to Shanann liked to take photos inside of her kitchen and line the kids up on the stand, the island, and I mean, just a weird, I guess, but I guess Shanann liked to take pictures all over the house. So where were they going to stand in the house that it wasn't going to be compared? But that's what was happening. And then they went on, and the new owners of the Watts on a live house face ordeal from online bashers. It even got picked up in the mainstream um, media, and they called it an online bashers attack the Millers. It was sold by the company Lockton Real Estate to the Miller family, who bought the infamous home, remarked the Sun, mentioned by the outlet, which highlighted a personal Facebook post that confirmed the sale, saying it is the Watts house and the Millers are eager to bring back happy times after the previous dark events. As the real estate agent made the social media post, the new family to live there also posted online at the front door, writing that their presence in the house would make it happy like in former times and have some smiles. They are a couple with 3 small kids. Many online users understand the new owners of many online users understand the new owners. What does that mean? What does that really mean? Am I reading it wrong? The new family no, Amy, just let it go, keep moving. I could dig into that for 5 hours and figure it out. Okay. One reaction by a realtor identified as appropriate tech 49 had posted a discussion of which he thought about the current occupants, saying they are not the Watts and the comparison is unfair. Additionally, the Miller family is flooded by too many online comments saying they are too obsessed with the house's history, adding the occupant is planning to mimic the people and events like morbid desire. And the Facebook post is a sign of this. But some online users got tired of bullying, and one wrote a stern opinion of them, of these horrible people doing it to the Millers, saying the net has become too toxic as these anonymous individuals have the gall to comment from the safety of the internet. A user posted a response. I think I have been on this Headlines Global News, and there's a lot of errors now that I remember. Um, now that I remember. A user posted a response that affirmed it was a crime to occupants, stating that the reaction was justified and no one should get that kind of treatment. So here is the photo right here of, this is Geneva Crimes thumbnail. But you can see here it has the mom, the dad, and then here are the 3 kids. So, yeah. Let me see what you guys are saying. The Millers are getting a divorce. They are fighting the house, and the wife took the husband to court. I feel bad for the Millers when they bought the house. Yeah, something's going on with the Millers. I have some of the legal stuff that we're going to look at. I found the arrest thing. But here I found on Neeks Peaks, they have Watts House Realtor drama and complaints. I thought we would look at that for a second. I do have the, what is it that I have? I don't know, but I have some stuff from Plunder. I have some stuff from Watts the Obsession. I have some of the legal I found on Weld County courts. Everybody has been like taking out the Mr. Miller's name, so I'm not going to include it. I'm not going to be the one that doxes somebody, but I do have some of that information. Yeah. Okay, so let's watch this.
Here that wasn't intended. Let's turn it over to the robot.
Kaylin and I came.
So this is a post that the realtor had posted regarding the Watts, or regarding them buying the Watts house. And this went with the photo that I showed you, that thumbnail. And it says, Kaylin and I came up with a post to address a few rumors. I want to preface this post by saying that the post I made almost 2 weeks ago about the recent purchase of our new home was meant to be only seen by friends and family that I felt I could trust with this information. I deleted, yeah, you can't trust any, I deleted the post, could trust with this information. I deleted over 100 people on both Instagram and Facebook, blocked others from being able to see the post, and made the post private. My whole profile was already private. It was not intended to be spread around, hence the need for someone I trusted to take screenshots, since I removed the ability for them to share. My original post, shame on whoever did that. I trusted you while we are not naive and knew that information would get out. The intention of that post was to inform family and friends, to mitigate chaos, and to make our statements so that, move it forward, so that when the news got out, family and friends could protect us and support us, since they would have already known. However, whoever took screenshots and spread them around to get attention, you failed as a friend or a member of my family. You knew what would happen and decided getting attention was more important to you. I hope you got what you wanted. If they don't know who it was and the person didn't take credit for doing it, does that mean they sold it to a outlet or something? Or I don't know. Anyway, they were very unhappy with what had went down. With that said, rumors have, of course, flown around that I would like to address. Hopefully this time I will be shown the respect I deserve. Doubtful, but a girl can dream. Now, remember, this was before the house went up for sale again. This was just as they had bought the house. They had posted that. Apparently, somebody took that post and plastered it around. It was supposed to be private between a few, I don't know how many friends, 100 friends, 50, I don't know. And it got out. And so this was them trying to do damage control. One, yes, we have 2 girls and 1 boy, just like Shanann did. We did not have control over our birth order. We did not know Shanann before we had babies, and millions of families have 2 girls and 1 boy in that order. Please stop calling us creepy and eerie for something completely out of our control. Our children's birth order, we did not know Shanann before we had baby. 2 girls, and please stop calling us creepy and eerie for something completely out of our control. Our children's birth order had zero to do with the decision to purchase this home. 2, this is dressing like Shanann, and I am trying to be like her, and that the decision to buy this house is because I am obsessed with her, like most of you criticizing me and making such ridiculous assumptions. I did not know her. I'm another 32-year-old white girl in a small town in Colorado. We all wear leggings and cute shirts and try to style our hair. She's funny. I have dressed the I have dressed something, I don't know. We all wear leggings and cute shirts and trying to style our hair. I've dressed the way I do for years and still have the same. Colorado, we all wear leggings and cute shirts and try to style our hair. I've dressed the way I do for years, and I still have the same clothes from 10 years ago. I do too. TF kind of a comment is that. If I dress like her and look like her, so do most of the other moms I know at my age. Are they obsessed with her too? You saw a picture of me in one outfit and decided I was trying to be like her. I think the Millers haven't learned that like the best way is like just to play dead with this kind of stuff. But is there more? I have been working with her parents for years to buy this home. I didn't know that. I have wanted this home. I didn't know that it had been in the plans for years. I have wanted this home for a long time. It is beautiful and perfect for our family. I don't owe anyone a single explanation on why we bought it, but that's basically it, along with wanting to do the right thing by Shanann and her family. I do believe we were meant to be here, and am so and I'm so happy we are, despite how people have treated us for buying it. I absolutely believe Shanann would be happy about us buying her home and buying her home. Despite, I absolutely believe Shanann would be happy about us buying her home and loving it rather than watching it deteriorate and having people fear this place she loved. It has, however, been a pleasure working with them through this process and taking this burden from them. We do not buy this house because it is the Watts house. We have wanted it because it is perfect for our family and our lifestyle. It is beautiful and spacious in a lovely neighborhood, and we have every intention of making it a normal home again so that Shanann's parents no longer have to deal with this. This has never been a thought that has crossed our minds, and we are so happy that someone who may have had those intentions did not purchase this home. To have that even being said about us is sickening. I will also not be creating a TikTok documenting our lives here or finding ghosts. Insert eye roll. So we don't read everything and we don't watch everything in this live. I will put everything down in the description. I invite you and encourage you to go and do your own research and go to the links and watch them for fair play use. I have to stop and start and not watch anything in its entirety. This is all my opinion, my research for entertainment and educational purposes only. Let's see what you guys are saying. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up, guys. It helps me go out into the algorithm, dance out there, bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help my channel out, and it's really, really appreciated. Let's see. This is so sad that a so-called friend of theirs ratted them out. Yeah, that is sad, actually. It's upsetting, but I don't know. I've been like hurt by people a lot recently, so things don't surprise me. Sherry K says, I don't think that people should have been bothering the Millers. I think people should have just let them live peacefully. I thought they were. I didn't like, did we hear a lot about people driving down and bugging them and stuff like that? Because I mean, I saw some pictures of the house here and there, but not anything crazy. I don't know. Jacqueline says, contrary to what the wife's social media post 17 months ago, I am having a hard time that the husband just became an abuser. Seriously, investigate the house and have it cleansed. Yeah, it's strange that, like, listening to him, it was the perfect house for their family, spacious, fitted their lifestyle, and now it just all of a sudden didn't fit their lifestyle, and the father was doing all of this stuff. I even found this post where the Rzuceks had mentioned it. Here.
I hope wherever Nate is, he is doing well, and I hope his neighbors know how lucky they are to have him. He played a big role in solving shenanigans out when a spouse murders another spouse. But
I had to
$1,000.
restart my computer right before, and everything is off for me. I had everything in order, and it's not in order. Anyway. Is it over here? No, I don't know. Ugh, it makes me so angry when electronics don't work with me. But anyway, here, let me show you. Here is what I found. I, bleeped out the name, his first name. It's Miller. It happened on 2/11/24 at 1853 hours. Frederick PD, and he was arrested for child abuse negligence. He was arrested for obstruction of telephone or telegraph service and harassment. So those are the things that he was arrested for. And Plunder has more information on the arrest. So let's head over there. And I mean, it's such a good video. You guys have to go over to it. We can't listen to it all. I wish we could, but it tells it all. So let's go in and listen to it. Let me make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. You're not. Hold on. Is this it?
It broke down to $300,000 for shenanigans on time.
No. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna speed her up and get it going. You getting sleepy, little baby bird? Oh gosh, it's 7:30. It's 7:30.
In Frederick, Colorado, that same home where Chris did away with his beautiful wife, Shanann Watts, attempted to do away with his children and ended up getting rid of them at a well site, Survey 319, on August 13th, 2018. A day that will live in infamy. Yeah, that same house where I will only call them the Millers. You know, it's public record, but I'm just going to call them the Millers so they can keep some semblance of their privacy, even though this court case is very public. That husband, Mr. Miller, as I'll call him, I just watched him plead guilty to harassment as an act of domestic violence. Today is Friday, April 26th.
So she watched it. Hold on. I got to turn on the air conditioner too because I'm getting hot. Hold on a minute. So she watched the whole thing, but it said on the court page not to record it. So she didn't record it. So, and I would have to send away, I think, for the transcripts to get them so that we could read them in their entirety. But this will be good because we can watch part of this and get an idea of what's going on.
2024. In the 2 weeks that I published that previous video where the house of Chris and Shanann Watts went up for sale, it used to be a bit more. The price initially was $775,000. It's been
okay. The prices dropped from the house. I'm going to skip forward.
I didn't want to rely on gossip or innuendo, so I have placed a link to the court's website below. However,
so she's talking about where it was on the website. I will put a link here, and I will also put a link to where I got that piece of information that I showed you. I just couldn't go to the website and do it because I don't know if there's a way to blank out their names directly while we're doing a live. So I just cut and pasted it and blacked it out myself.
And I don't exactly know which ones were his victims. You will see later on when I read you what happened in court today. The judge did talk about a charge against Mr. Miller involving the child being dropped. The rumblings.
Yes, the charge against whatever was with the child was dropped. And so it was just the other stuff that he went to court for.
Had stated that Mrs. Miller was divorcing Mr. Miller because he abused a child, one of their children. And I could not believe it. I was blown away. Now, those are just rumors, allegations. What we have in court today is what is firm.
Those are rumors. Nobody's been able to come out to prove about anything other than what just happened in court.
Is what I witnessed, and it's all about substance abuse and domestic violence because he has to go through treatment. More on that in a bit. First, I want to read you the 12-point rant you may remember Mrs. Miller posted on Facebook in response to the controversy of the Millers buying the Watts home. Okay, so
I didn't read you all 12. I think I read you up to like 6 or something. So we'll fast forward. Does she have marks in here? Bookmarks? Or what are those called? No, she doesn't.
Which appreciate, not depreciate. She wrote, that has never been a thought that has crossed our mind, and we are, yeah, houses can be just drywall, and it would behoove people to believe that and read the word, and there was one more wicked than itself, and they go in and make their home there. Millers had moved into just another home in Colorado. Perhaps the answer is yes. Anyway, finishing her rant. Number 8, rather than asking me anything, it's like, oh, here's the new house sold, here's the family, we hope they have many happy years here, or what have you. And so know how happy you are that we are here. This, Your Honor. And she goes through the same things with pre-trial conference for case number C62202-4M.
Okay, so for those that are just arriving, what has happened is that the Millers have had to go to court. It looks like it's now just substance abuse and domestic violence that's happening. But the house has been put up for sale. It was put up for $775. They've dropped 25 off, and now it's up for sale for $750. Plunder attended the case on a Zoom call. If I'd known it was happening, I would have went too. I can't wait until I'm a bigger channel and I just somehow know all of this. But I'm bringing it to you now. I had been hearing rumbles, and I just kind of wanted to make sure what I was hearing was something more than just a rumble. And this is concrete She was at the Zoom, but she wasn't able to video it because it says right there, please don't video. So she didn't.
445 in Weld County Division 9. So Mr. Miller appeared in the courtroom with his lawyer, Tim Lindstrom. Now, Tim Lindstrom apparently is usually on Zoom, so the judge was like, wait, who are you? And then she's like, oh, forgive me, it's a Friday. I guess she's not used to seeing him in the courtroom. Now, as far as the state, it was a Mr. Salome was the lawyer. Judge had the plea paperwork before her. The charge was regarding domestic violence, harassment as a class 1 misdemeanor. It brought him an 18-month deferred sentence. Mr. Miller can attend, if he's not already attending, substance abuse evaluation and treatment supervised by the probation department. They talked about fines and costs, and there was no restitution to be made. Is that the party's understanding of the agreement? And the judge asked Mr. Miller specifically. He said, yes, Your Honor. And she goes through the same things where she's like, has anyone pressured you or made any promises to you? He said, no, ma'am. No one made any promises or pressured him to plead guilty today. Did he understand he's giving up his right to a jury trial? Yes, ma'am, he said. So just like Chris Watts, and I do not mean to equate this man with the horrors of what Chris Watts did to his family. I'm only giving you facts on all I can see is Domestic Violence Act here. Yes, ma'am, he knew he was giving up his rights to a jury trial. So neither one of them wanted a jury trial.
I mean, how... I feel like very exasperated when somebody buys a known house that like is one of the biggest cases out there, and they get angry when people do comparisons. Like, you gotta know that that was in store. I don't know. It's like when people say leave Gypsy alone. Well, then why doesn't Gypsy go away, right? Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel exasperated when people get angry about the comparison, because I mean, we're taught
They didn't want to drag their
from
family.
day one out of the go. That's all we do is make comparisons to in life, right? And I don't know. What do you guys think?
Even more in the public eye. Was he satisfied with his counsel from his attorney? Yes. Was he not under the influence of alcohol or drugs today? It's correct. He said, I am not. So he pled guilty to an act of domestic violence, meaning he can't own a gun. The judge explained if he weren't a U.S. citizen, it would affect his ability to stay in the country. So I'm assuming he's a U.S. citizen. Mr. Miller pled guilty, waived his factual basis, and the plea was accepted. The lawyer wanted the plea to be accepted, and it was accepted. They were moving to immediate sentencing. That's when the judge asked, are any victims present? And that's when Mrs. Miller chimed in, yes, Your Honor, she's on Zoom. And then she went on to ask, I don't know if this is the appropriate time, but she wanted to modify the protection order. So obviously she has a protection order against her husband. She wanted Mr. Miller to be able to come back to our residence, she called it, that famous, infamous home on Saratoga Trail, only as long as she's not there. So she wanted to be able to allow Mr. Miller to go to that home only at the times when she's not there. She did say, we're in the process of selling our...
Maybe they're having problems with childcare, right? And she needs to be able to... Come on, Jenny, off the microphone. She needs to be able to allow him to come to the house, or maybe he needs to get his stuff, or I don't know. PPOs are so... I didn't know that you could... Well, I guess I did know that you could modify it. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat. 100% house cleansing. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary. HF says the Millers should have known that people were going to... Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, why did they think by them buying it, all of a sudden that would stop? And did they have it up as an Airbnb? I don't know if that's just something I read and nothing's been proven. Nate doesn't live there anymore. No, Nate doesn't live there. I don't think the mom even lives there anymore. I also think the house needs to be cleansed. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be saging that stuff, that thing. I sage my own house. A lot of all the negativity that's been going on, I just have been saging. I couldn't live in the house. Chris unalived his wife in the bedroom. I could live in the house. I mean, a lot of things have happened in houses and in hotel rooms and places that you go through that you don't really even know about. Yeah, Sherry K, CW said NK brought a Ouija. Oh. And he felt a dark presence and something gripping his hand hard. I guess I'm going really slow tonight too, and I need to keep moving. So let's watch this plunder, what happened in the court case, because I do have some What's the Obsession stuff. I did see that she has some information about the house and also something about the basement. I wanted to look at what she was talking about, the basement.
Homes. To me, it sounded like homes. I wish I could give you the audio or video. It sounded like she said, we're in the process of selling our homes, plural, but maybe she just meant home. So she wants Mr. Miller to come back to their house until it sells. So there was no objection to Mr. Miller returning to the house so long as the victim is not there. The parties can have contact upon agreement
if
between the
it's
parties.
homes, maybe he's going to stay at that house and she's going to stay at the other house. That's probably it.
Was a suggestion by the lawyer, but the judge was not comfortable with something that broad. For example, you could hear Mr. Miller whispering with his lawyer in between. He wanted the lawyer to bring this up to say, look, like special events like children's birthday parties or celebrations, and there was something about wanting to meet in public, and they was like, okay, we're going to ask the court to accept the plea along with the change in the order of protection. But the judge was not comfortable, and I don't blame her. She wasn't comfortable with just a broad language changing this order of protection that Mr. Miller can have contact with Mrs. Miller, and I assume his children, upon whenever they agree. So the judge said something about leaving the order of protection like it was, okay, they can add a bullet point about Mr. Miller coming to the house when Mrs. Miller is not there, and I assume when the children aren't there too. But the judge wasn't willing to amend the order of protection so completely as to say, okay, whenever they both agree, then they can just see each other. He pled guilty to the charge of harassment as an act of domestic violence. Anything you want to say, Mr. Miller, before I impose sentence? The judge was asking, and he seemed a little caught off guard. He was like, what? He didn't hear her. And he said, no, I'm good, Your Honor. I thought that was a little funny when people kind of, I don't know, when they flow into that casual language with the judge. But he did know. He called her Your Honor. He seemed very respectful. So this is the part that perked me up. The judge said, okay, we can vacate the protection order regarding the child since that charge is being dismissed. Mr. Miller has I checked the docket, Mr. Miller has no future court dates coming up in the next 6 months in Weld County that I could find. And is this protection order being vacated? Is this...
I checked too, and I couldn't find anything. I even went in, I checked to see if I don't know if he was still in jail or anything, and no.
Charge being dismissed along with the plea deal? Does the plea deal dismiss all the charges? Was it just a charge in relation to a child? The judge did say child, and was it only in relation to a child? That's what the Facebook rumors are saying. Mrs. Miller filed for divorce, is leaving Mr. Miller because of abuse allegedly towards the children or one of the children. That part I haven't confirmed, but what I have confirmed is what I'm reading you right now happened in court. Mr. Miller must complete treatment for domestic violence and alcohol and drug evaluation. He was assigned a $222.50 fee, including address confidentiality fee. I found that ironic. One of the most famous addresses in the world that all of us have looked, and the only reason we know it is because of the Millers purchasing the home after the horrible crime of the century happened.
That is funny that he has to do a address conform consent to prove that that's where he lives. Okay. So let's keep going. Let's move on to What's the Obsession. Which one do you guys... I'm only going to do one tonight. Which one are you guys wanting me to do? Do you want to talk about well, actually, I'll give you a choice. I have 3 things that I could show you tonight. We can watch this one. What is this one? Chris Watts' Horrifying Secrets, the Watts Household's Graphic Content, the Family's Final Hours. Chris Watts' House, Miller's Comments, Evil and Evidence of Crime and Possession. Or I have What is Going On with the Watts House? Why is it up for sale? Is it haunted? And this is a woman who is doing, it looks like a tarot reading. And she did this 11 days ago. So what do you guys want? Do you want What's the Obsession? Or do you want to look at the lady doing the tarot cards? Whatever we don't watch today, I'll just put it over in the members tomorrow. Do you guys have a preference, or do you just want me to pick? Sherry K says, the house isn't my style at all, but even if it was, I wouldn't choose to live in it because of what happened there. Yeah, there's a lot of people, and I understand totally that they just can't do it. They really can't do it. And I get it. I slept in a haunted inn, and I picked the most haunted room. I mean, I just wanted to see if anything would happen. Of course, I didn't sleep very good that night because I was a little scared, but I'm that person. So, and I used to have a paranormal group, and I think I got sick because of it, and that's why I don't do a whole lot of paranormal stuff anymore. But yeah. But that could just be in my mind too, right? Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. I'm trying to rearrange things and do things differently, and I don't know. I don't feel like I'm flowing and vibing as well as I used to. But that makes me feel better, you saying that. So I'm gonna pick. I wanna wasn't there one that Kelly just did about the basement? Because I'm very interested in the basement too. Let me see. I swear she just did one on the basement. I don't know.
Out many a times. Forgot.
Let's do this one, the one that she did 6 days ago. We'll do this one. Let me make sure you're seeing the one that I'm seeing, though. Okay, you are.
Sake, she says so herself.
You had read some newspaper articles on the 13th and the 14th that regarded this case. You had also had a conversation with Chris at some point during the day on Monday. And on Tuesday, because of what you found, specifically what you said was, and don't let me put words in your mouth, but you found out that his wife was pregnant.
Yes.
And you did not know that prior. And you found that out via the newspaper articles, and that caused you concern. What did that cause you to do with your phone, though?
Oh, what? When I deleted those? I was just kind of grossed out by him, to be honest with you. I was just like, I don't know what's going on right now, but you just lied to me.
I think it's so weird, her terminology. She was just kind of grossed out by him. She wasn't grossed out. I don't know. I guess because I'm grossed out by him, period. That's what made her grossed out about him. I mean, and so she decided to delete everything and then tell him to delete everything because she was grossed out by him. Because remember, Chris, in that we were listening to the Dodge Correctional, and remember in that confession or interview or whatever, he told the agents that NK said to delete everything. So she told him to delete everything on top of her deleting everything. Ugh.
And I don't want to see this come over my phone anymore. So I removed it. It was the hurt that made me delete it. And then it was the lie that made me start questioning everything else he'd been telling me for the last few days.
And that's when you decided to...
Was it the hurt or the lie that made you to tell him to delete it? That's what I want to know. Was it the hurt or the lie?
Come forward.
Yes.
Okay.
Although I believe that Nicole Kessinger should be charged with obstruction of justice, and whatever charges are found to be legitimate after a proper and thorough investigation of this crime is done, that includes an investigation into her role before, during, or after the murders. I am simply unsure if she was in the basement the night of August 12th and/or going into the early morning of August 13th when Shanann arrived home at 1:48 a.m. from her delayed flight back to Denver.
Do you think something happened in the basement? I think something happened in the basement. I don't know what happened in the basement, but I don't know. I think something happened in the basement. Somebody sent me a I don't know. Sometimes I can feel certain things, and somebody sent me a little piece of something at the house, and I just strongly feel that something happened in the basement. Does anybody else get that feeling?
From Arizona. The hard evidence we have showing Nicole Kessinger was at
Yeah.
or very near the Watts
Yeah.
home during the
Okay.
time that matters is at 6:16 a.m. phone ping in Frederick, Colorado, placing her phone right near the house. It's a location her phone had rarely registered ever, as far as we know. And as far as we know, it had never registered during the early morning hours. We also know the event immediately preceding the 6:16 a.m. ping, according to her phone records, is the end of the mysterious 111-minute phone
That's a
call
good
on
point, Scout.
Sunday evening, the evening before the murders that went from 9:28 p.m. to 11:19 p.m. The call that was significantly longer.
We always need that reality thing thrown at us. Like, you can't believe any of them. Okay, yeah, all right. Now I remember that. Sometimes you try to put meaning or words into things that like make no sense at all. Like when somebody was being really mean to me, somebody said like, how do they even have people that follow them? And I'm like, he's not the only like mean person in the world, right? So yeah, I have to just, not everything is meant to make sense, and yes, both of them lie.
Than any other call between Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts, and it's also the call that is significantly longer than any other call that appears on her phone records for a period of 3 months.
Okay, this is more not what I thought it was. This is more talking about NK, and I want to put this in a different video. So let's move on to Frankie being back on the internet. I saw Frankie has been posting over in his community section. Make sure you can see it. Yes, What's the Obsession. I love What's the Obsession. She helped me out tremendously when I needed somebody to come through for me. And Carolina helped me reach out to her. And it's just, I'm so grateful. And I don't always agree with everything that every single creator that I like say I recommend. I mean, just because they say one thing doesn't mean that I believe every single thing, because there are some things that I disagree with, but she does it in a respectful way and an educational way, and I just respect that. So anyway, moving back over here, Frankie is back on the internet. He had posted an update about his defamation suit. This was 3 months ago, and I'm actually not going to read it because it's not it's I can't remember if I've read it to you guys or not. I don't know, but I will put the link in. Well, sure, let me show it to you. Here it is: Justice for Suffering Family of Murdered Pregnant Mom and Her Children by Frankie Rzucek. He was asking for 1,100 and he got 59, and this is in pounds, so I don't know what the exchange rate right now is, pounds to dollars, but oh, here's the update. On January 22nd, he wrote, "Dear supporters and friends, first I am pleased to report that Vinnie Combs' YouTube channel has now been deactivated." I don't know who that is, which is a great relief to my family and myself. Is that the armchair detective? There is still, however, a little way to go in relation to my legal claim against Vinnie Combe in the High Court in London. We want to make sure that Vinnie Combe is never able to harass or defame me or exploit our family's misery again. Oh, this is long. So after various preliminary steps in the proceedings and as a result of Vinnie Combe's failure to engage properly with the claim, our lawyers have successfully asked the court to make an unless order. This gives Vinnie Combe a final deadline to file a legally sound device by the 29th of January 2024 at 4 p.m. or face the prospect of judgment being entered against him. So, hasn't the armchair detective been off of the internet for a long time anyway? I mean, I thought he was gone a long time ago, but maybe I never followed him because I knew that he was problematic and I didn't want to deal with anything like that. So, there's that. And then it looks like they made, him and his mom made some Easter bread. I hope you all have been blessed and safe holiday. I'm excited to eat a whole lot of the amazing food my mom is cooking. XO. I should have some more posts coming soon, maybe even a video. A year ago, shorts. This was over a year ago. I saw the one thing, but on his community, they are more active on the community tab. So if you guys are like kind of watching their pages, and I say there because Sandy has a page too, sometimes they'll throw up a post here that nobody sees. And maybe they like it that way. I don't know. But like here was one that he did 6 months ago, and he was like, as I was standing in line at the food store the other day, I glanced over and saw this. I still can't believe this happened. I love you, Shanann, Bella, and Nico. So and they must be inside there somewhere. Oh yeah, there's the Watts right there. Like, yeah. Okay, there's Chris right there. That would be like, wouldn't that be just mind-blowing? Think about this. Your son-in-law or your son does this, and you're just like, it's like one of the biggest cases out there, and you're standing there just buying your groceries, and you look over, and there's Chris Watts, right? Ugh. Or there's your two nieces and your sister in happier times. Yeah, it would be hard. So I think this is all I have for tonight, you guys. I wanted to talk about baby Banny before I go. So you guys know that thing happened with Jay/Jeff. And if you don't know, I'll put the link down below, and I need every single one of you to go watch it. If you've gone to his page, I need you to watch it. But good always comes from bad. And so I took some of the money, I divided it, and some of the money I've donated to the little elephant that was struck by a train. Her and her mother were both struck by a train in India. The mother didn't live, baby Banny did, but she can't stand. A little elephant can't stand. And so they are massaging her and doing strength training, putting her in whirlpools, just really getting this little baby elephant back on her feet. And I wanted to show you that we donated to her. I did a quick little 1-minute thing. I'm going to show it to you. And then I'm going to say goodbye. Come back and say goodbye. So here's the little baby Banny.
can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know.
Okay, so you can see, oh, I did it too soon. Hold on.
For all in this, I stand alone. Show me where.
So we donated $25.75. Why the 75 cents? It asked us if we wanted to cover the cost of the money app that they were using. And of course, we wanted to do that. So we were able to donate $25.75. We'll donate $25.75 again next month. I'll keep donating to this until as long as I can, because I want to make sure that we are one of the ones that helps baby Banny get back on her feet. And I do that through your support and your clicks and your views, ways that you can support the channel, even watching channel ads that gives me money. Every time you click thumbs up or thumbs down, that helps us go out into the algorithm and show that people are enjoying our content, and it brings more people back, and more people is just a better way for my channel to get out there. And it's so appreciated when you guys do that. You guys mean so much to me. And I love you guys. I just love you guys. And somebody had said, like, I saw someone say online that you can't love people that you don't know. And I was like, is that true? And I felt like Chris and NK Googling, can you love somebody you don't know? And the answer was, of course you can. Of course you can. And you guys, I love you guys so much. And everything that you do for me, it doesn't go unnoticed. And I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy, I answer a lot in the comments. I'm down in your comments a lot. So if you leave a comment, chances are I will answer it. And if I don't answer it, it means that I haven't gotten to it yet, or I missed it somehow. But I like to have that conversation with you. You are important to me. I like to know what you're doing. I like to feel connected to you, and I hope that you are feeling connected to me. That's very important too. And so if nobody's told you this today, I'm telling you this. I love you guys so, so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to